The girl put on an oxygen mask and carefully crawled into a barrel filled with honey. She was then dragged into a sealed room. The room was coated with solid alcohol. They pulled out the girl's oxygen tube, lit a match, and quickly threw it into the room. The room immediately burst into flames. The girl had to endure the intense heat and hold her breath inside the barrel for 1 minute. The girl had an immune system problem and had to live in a sterile protective bubble since she was a child. One day, a storm destroyed her house. The protective bubble was covered with debris, and if it was punctured, bacteria would invade. The girl was in constant danger. Firefighters took photos of the debris from various angles and sent them to engineers. The engineers used computer analysis to determine the volume of each object, created 3D models, and performed stress analysis to figure out the order in which to remove the debris. Following the engineers' instructions, the firefighters carefully cleared away the debris, risking electrocution. If the power was turned off, the air filter would stop working, and the girl inside the bubble wouldn't be able to breathe. Suddenly, a strong wind blew a piece of wood onto the protective bubble. They quickly had the girl stack a table and chair and turn on an air mattress to temporarily hold up the wood. But just a few seconds later, another accident happened. A power line fell onto the bubble, and it was about to be burned through. The firefighters immediately found an oxygen mask and protective suit from the fire truck, sterilized the suit with ethylene oxide, and signaled the girl to put it on quickly. After the girl put on the protective suit, a firefighter used a knife to cut through the bubble and pulled her out just before it collapsed. They then took her to a sterile room. However, because the protective suit hadn't been ventilated after sterilization, the girl had an allergic reaction. Her body was covered in red spots, and she was having trouble breathing. They had to take off the suit quickly. To solve this problem, the firefighters remembered that honey is sterile, but if they took off the suit, the girl would be exposed to bacteria in the air. So, they found a carpet and used a grinder to create an ionized layer on it, temporarily isolating the girl from microbes and bacteria. The girl took off her suit, enjoyed a brief moment in the sunlight, and then slowly got into the barrel filled with honey. The firefighters quickly coated the walls with solid alcohol to create a sterile room. After the girl was pushed into the sterile room, they pulled out her oxygen tube and threw a burning match inside, setting the room on fire. The girl had to endure the heat and hold her breath in the barrel for 1 minute. After a minute, the fire went out, and they immediately turned on the high-efficiency filter, filling the room with sterile oxygen, and shouted for the girl to come out. But there was no response from inside the barrel, and they had to wait anxiously. Finally, the girl emerged from the barrel, and the red spots on her body were gone. She had survived.